Well, continuing with the 14th Istanbul Apparel Conference, and this session will be about innovative approaches in sustainable raw materials, where we'll be having our debate with two guests. Erkin Eren, CEO of Linear Recycle Textiles, is with us. And online we will have Mr. Fahrettin Elmas from Kale Yarns. Welcome, sir. Thank you. And it's always very nice to be a part of your show, and I follow you. And it's really a good coincidence that we are together in this session. Thank you. It's going to be a very nice session. Starting off with Mr. Eren. We're speaking about sustainable fashion. Sustainable just comes as a prefix to every word, but what is about sustainable fashion? Sustainable fashion is the recycling of textile wastes. There are some implications for future use as yarns and fabrics, resulting in ready-wear. Now, it's also about the reduction of the natural content cotton. As you know, there are, some processes that we're using in the yarn production. There are some wastes in the ready-wear industry. We should be recycling them upon the request of our consumers, and also with the Paris Climate Convention. All the fashion companies started to prefer recyclable raw materials, and we've started off just a few years ago, and it's recycling what we are doing. Therefore, in terms of quality, it's quite difficult to be able to do a recycling that will fit the needs of quality needs of fashion. And previously, I just talked to my previous company, and also we are running our manufacturing with Kale Yarn. It's very good collaboration. As we discussed in the outset, the opening session, all the stakeholders of the industry are willing to collaborate and cooperate each other. This story is also about it. Yes, exactly. We've worked quite a lot about it. We worked on the R&D, and our processes were improved. And also your collaborators need to confirm the processes, since they are running their own quality standards, and in their recycling the same or similar quality is quite difficult to catch. And it was a challenge for you. Therefore, we've just looked into it. We've ran some R&D activities, and now we've updated our systems. Currently, we're able to recycle our products that will meet the needs of the global brands. We are their global, project partners, and always working with new products, new brands. Here at this point, I can say as of today, we're speaking about roughly 1,500 tons of replacement for cotton annually. It's really a critical thing for us, because without touching cotton, we aim at recycling some materials that will fit the needs of fashion. I think it's really relevant, and I can say that we're about to accomplish it. Accomplishing it doesn't mean to stop. We keep looking into R&D all the time. I'll turn back to you if time allows. I will continue with Mr. Elmas. Around the globe and in Turkey, recycled fiber and yarn production. Can you elaborate on this a bit? There are many technical, terms such as technical textile, and let's hear you speaking about it. What is it about? Yes, essentially today what we are discussing, the recycle processes. Date back to like 25 years ago, and we have always considered ourselves lucky about it, because for the 25 years we've been just dealing into this business. As Kale Yarn Bonafibra brand, we have been producing high quality recycled fibers, and out of the fibers, recycled yarns are manufactured as a result of a know-how of 25 years. Environmentally friendly and well-reputable company. This is how we are known in the market. 25 years ago, people were looking into 100% cotton content, and we used to sort out the wastes and export them to Spain and Italy. Today, in our own facilities, we're able to recycle these wastes to produce yarns. And doing it, it's not only about 100% cotton products, but modal, lyocell, cashmere, silk can also be sorted in their own colors, can be recycled to end up in yarns. Of course, recycling matters from different perspectives, and as I say, since we've been working on it for 25 years, we've had some experiences in the past where the recycled fibers, when they were used to manufacture yarn, there were problems in terms of strength. So we added acrylic and polyester into the yarn that we used to produce. But today we are in the capacity to go on with recycled fibers to also be mingled with cotton, lyocell, modal, linen, or like fibers to end up with colored yarns. Also, getting back to the technique, from these technical yarns, we can also produce some protective equipment or garments that are specifically designed for some industries. Post and pre-consumer wastes of these garments can also be used to produce recycled yarns. That means that in recycling, as a result of, the process, global, environmental impact, and also fossil fuels coming to an end. As for the fossil fuels harming the environment, these all boil down to the products. So comparing these original cotton-containing products with the recycled products, I can say that quite generously the recycled products provide quite better outcomes to provide more positive results, far away from carbon footprint, respecting the environment without the use of water consumption and fossil fuels such as coal. Well, if I have time back, I will get back to you, Mr. Elmas. And now back in studio, turning to Erkin. Now, speaking of recycled products, sir, maybe we can get into the details about it. And since the morning session, we've been emphasizing the export capacity of Turkey for the aim of closing current deficit and also to accomplish current surplus. You're exporting to 15 countries. What do you say about our potential? Now, exports is one of our targets as well. We need to increase our exports, but particularly in the pandemics, the Far East in particular cannot get a high demand for textile. This is being said, but is it really so? In reality, yes, it is. Therefore, I can say that majority of the goods that are intended for export is now supplied to our ready-wear manufacturers in Turkey. This is indirect exports. Here, of course, the brands are our target group. Therefore, they have some targets for the sustainable products, and they aim at completely sustainable products. Probably we're expecting positive implications on our exports. But what kind of products are you providing to international brands? 100% pre-consumer cotton, which means that 100% recycled cotton is being used in some of the products. This is what we are providing to customers. Recycled polyester mingling. So recycling is not enough, so there is another process next to it to make it a product. Exactly. There are some, very serious series of product processes that we're running to make it a product. So in terms of reaching the finishing during the process, there are very specific processes that we need to run, which we do. Of course, this is not something that we, say, okay, let's do it this way randomly. But it's a result of our research and development processes, and you can see positive outcomes in the final products. Yes, Mr. Elmas, as you spoke, I was thinking, oh my God, what history. And it's just been a huge evolution in our history. As Erkin Eren says, R&D is not enough. You're running R&D, but in a way you should continue. And you should never give up saying enough is enough. No, your exports, it's really huge exports that you're doing. Preferring Turkey instead of the Far East has been an implication of the pandemic's time. We're okay with it. We all agree with it, but its sustainability, another question mark. Do you think that this process is sustainable? We were lucky enough to catch up with this process, but will it again be redirected back to Asia? What would you say? What would you expect? If I may, I also would like to touch upon some of the points that I left unclear. Now, we are referring to sustainability, recycling all the time and speaking on these two terms. But here, particularly recently, recycling refers, particularly within the context of textile wastes, is to be divided between pre- and post-consumer wastes. So there is such a sorting. When, of course, starting manufacturing in the post-consumer, we are speaking about the wastes that were left unused during production. And the post-consumer is merely about the used wastes that are out at the end of their life. The pre-consumer side, on the other hand, the cycle is quite clear. Things are quite smooth in the pre-consumer. You might sometimes have some problems in reaching out to the post-consumer wastes. I think the sector has not yet reached a full functioning in the recycling in the post-consumer products. And if you ask me, unless this cycle is fully accomplished, we cannot entirely speak about recycling. Therefore, the companies should pay more attention to the recollection of their own products, maybe take a leading role in organization of these products, get in contact with us to make sure that we get the correct amount of wastes. At the same time, we are speaking about particularly on the post-consumer side, we are speaking about the colored garment wastes. Actually, the industry is expecting to have a recycling in the yarns and then from yarns to garments, but we are not doing enough. Sometimes we need to bleach some of the items so that the bleached versions can be used in a raw material way, but I don't know how much it is a part of sustainability. If bleaching must be interfered with. But what we would advise to local and international brands and supply chains is that we should stay together. We should stick together, maybe organize meetings, but just write down standards and to start a fashion that is merely based on recycled fashion. Because normally when you check, the label, for the content of a garment that you're purchasing, on the label, the different levels of fiber must be indicated in the post-consumer production. Therefore, percentage-wise, it would not be that possible to indicate the fibers one by one. So probably there is this need for a classification. In line with this classification, we can specify the content of the fabric next to the care instructions. But I think the most important thing is about the sorting of the recycling of these products, and the general look is like the mixed color, since there will be this mixing. And with our own know-how and without dyeing, by sorting different mixed colors, like in a block of colors, we can just convert it into a product maybe. So this would be a very good implication for the fashion sector. But maybe just allocating broader spaces in their stores for the recycled products, because in my opinion, the wastes cannot be made use of properly as they should. Turning back to your question, of course, in the Far Eastern part of the globe today, especially we see in international fairs and exhibitions, we can get in contact with our colleagues in international markets, and I have to say that our exporting department is stronger than our local. But generally what we're being given as a feedback is the Far East will no longer be to be preferred as in the past. Since this is not the case, it's going to be a very good opportunity for us, and it is for the moment. In this respect, Turkey has maybe twice or 3 times as higher than a supplier point than before. Therefore, if we can make good use of it and turn it into an opportunity, I think the future will be brighter. And it's going to be a nice future for all of us as a country, and better days will come for the textile industry. Mr. Elmas, thank you very much for your contribution. Hopefully we'll have more time to be together in the coming meetings. And in our studio, Mr. Erkin Eren was with us speaking about recycling. Good luck. I mean, both in terms of exports and in terms of Turkey's replacement of Asia. I think it's really important that you come up with innovative products, and it's really pleasing that companies like you care about innovative and environmentally friendly processes. And this is the end of our session, and we'll continue in a minute.